breaks through the line, cuts to the left. He's going. I think he's going. Oh!
Hello, welcome to Rant&Rave on icycolorlive.tv. This is our divisional playoff edition of Rant&Rave on icycolorlive.tv. I tell you what, it feels really good to have a win in the playoffs.
Oh my goodness. And guess what? We've continued Flacco's not one and done.
Yeah, exactly.
He's always got that first win.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing about it is, Brady, you talk about Manning, these supposedly elite quarterbacks, and you know the flack that you and I take for being Joe Flacco supporters all year. I get the gloat, Theresa gets the gloat. Joe Flacco turned into a different quarterback, definitely in the playoffs.
He's a playoff quarterback, they keep saying.
Right.
January Joe, I'm
with it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Joe know the playoffs. I tell you what.
There's a different beast that comes out in that at that time.
Absolutely. So again, the Pittsburgh game, it really. I will admit though, it really hurt them not having a running game, because you watched our defense just pin their ears back and go berserk. And they stayed back on Roethlisberger all day long.
All day long. So I won't attribute it. A lot of people want to say, because Bell wasn't playing. But Bell played in the first two games.
Right.
So when they lost that first game, Bell was there. And we have a lot of people that we were missing as well.
Yeah,
so
true,
you can't,
true.
so you know.
We've gotten better and we've gotten well. We've gotten healthy.
Yes.
And then getting Nada back.
Yeah, so my thing is, I understand you didn't have Bell, but you've had Bell and you lost.
Yeah.
And
see, because our Achilles heel, excuse the pun,
yes,
is our secondary.
Is our secondary.
But our front seven, we got like 11 guys in our front seven that can play. So even when we sub in, our subs have turned out to be incredible.
Incredible players. We don't call them replacement players. They're just all Ravens.
Right.
Which is good. Definitely for us.
So again, I think it holds well. This is the kind of formula. We run the ball well and we play great defense on our front seven.
Yes.
We get pressure on the other team's quarterback. So therefore, I think, this ought to be a great run in the playoffs. I think we have a real shot.
Yes.
With New England. I don't want to be overconfident, because and the reason, and I'll tell you why I don't want to be overconfident with the New England win, is because we have beat them before. And we beat them the last couple times.
Yes.
And the third time, if we make the field goal, we
have
won
them again.
So I don't want to go in overconfident, because Bill Belichick is an incredible coach. Tom Brady is an incredible quarterback, and that team is a good team. And they've been on a roll lately. So they've had a couple weeks to prepare. I just think it's going to be a good game. I think we have an incredible shot at beating them, though.
Yes.
But it's always hard going into that other man's backyard and pulling out those wins.
Well, one of the commentators this morning on NFL AM, you know what he quoted? He said, "That's Flacco's yard."
Yeah.
That's almost
New
England Gillette Stadium is almost Flacco's house.
Yeah.
Because Flacco,
he got W's there.
They're 12-3.
Right.
2 of those losses come from the Ravens.
Yeah.
So Flacco plays very well there.
Okay.
But today, again, it's no excuse though, but I think the temperatures there are going to affect both. So I think the score is going to be close. I think which it always has been. It always has been. And I think we've got, like you said, a shot. Not overconfident. I'm just confident in what our abilities are if we play to that capability. We can beat them because we've done it before, like you said, and you just gotta your basics. Just stick to the basics. You don't have to try to do flashy stuff. Just stick to the basics, what you know how to do. You've hit it on the nose with our defense up front. It's not too much that's going to be going on. It's not going to be easy.
Right.
It's not going to be easy. My only concern is Gronkowski and a secondary back.
Right.
After that, I'm good.
It's funny, yeah. I was speaking to a guy yesterday, and we were talking about that. Who's going to cover Gronkowski? And we kept doing names, and and I didn't find that right. Maybe McPhee. I really don't know, because you would think the guy who has the energy. You need a guy who's not an old veteran, a veteran but not an old veteran.
Right.
And you need a guy that got enough size. So when I plugged in Mosley into that, he's young, number one, and he don't have the size. He's a great player.
He's a great player.
Rookie of the year, no doubt about it. Hands down, should be rookie of the year.
Better be.
But he just don't have the size to deal with Gronkowski. Our safeties, we're hurt. We know from our safeties back, they're not our starters. So maybe somebody can step up and play him. But Gronkowski, boy, that's going to be a challenge.
If you don't bump him, interrupt that real early,
yeah,
and you let him just gate through, we're going to have a problem.
Yeah, that's going to be something. But I think, again, if we can get a lead in the beginning, early in the game, then our running game can come through. Forsett can actually do his thing. He and Pierce, they can actually, we can keep the ball away from Tom Brady, keep the ball away from Gronkowski, and we can play that clock game. And, I hope it's a field position defensive game. That's my hope, is that we're kicking and we're pinning them down and we're trying to get 3 and out, and then they're kicking and we're just moving a little bit until progressively we win the game 12-9.
We don't want to have our defense on the field more than our offense.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to be a game where we're depending on that defense again.
Yeah, ball control. We want to control the ball.
Yes, every aspect of it. We want to have, when we get that ball, Justin Tucker is, almost like a sure shot, but I don't want this to be another Tucker show.
Right.
I want it to be spread out, touchdowns. Those are the things you need to do. Put those points on the board so late in the game, when things get tricky, if it does happen to go that way, we shouldn't be sitting there going, well, at this point we should have done this, we should have done this, we should have gone for it, we should have kicked it. Do what you got to do. When you get the ball, get them points, move downfield.
Right.
Red zone, let it be our friend today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just think, we definitely can win the game. We have an incredible opportunity to move on. And I tell you what, we're going to go away right now for a little break, but we'll come back and we'll talk about that other game in the AFC. And, because I got a feeling we're going to be playing one of those two teams next week. Anyway, we'll be right back on Rant and Rave here on ICColorLive.tv. Hello, welcome back to Rant and Rave on ICColorLive.tv. This is our divisional playoff edition. Well, Theresa, I want to talk to you about the AFC. We'll worry about the NFC if we make it to the Super Bowl. Until then, they don't count.
Right.
We have Denver playing, the Denver Broncos playing that team from Indianapolis. And, in that game, Peyton Manning going against his old team.
Yes.
You got, Andrew Luck, who's an up-and-coming star in this league. But from what I see, that's about it to Indianapolis. You know what I mean? It's him versus, almost like it's him versus the Denver Broncos.
It is. And his name, right. Luck, is basically what a lot of people are. He has a skill. Right. But some of those wins, it's not, like you say, it's not any big highlights. Right. It's not any big highlights, or there's not too much to brag about.
Well, what I see in Andrew, I see him as the future of the NFL. He's definitely the only young. I believe in Andrew Luck more than I do Cam Newton, more than I do the young man in Seattle,
Wilson.
Yeah, Russell Wilson. Even though he has a Super Bowl ring, as far as being able to carry the league and keep it, in a prosperous state and playing really exciting football.
Yes.
Andrew Luck. Colin Kaepernick even, I don't see. He regressed.
Oh,
he didn't get
gosh,
better.
Yes.
So RG3, don't see it. Coming out of college this year, the young Marietta, the young man that won the Heisman Trophy, and Jameson, I don't see it. Mm-hmm. So, we don't have a fantasy football segment this year, but whoever has Andrew Luck, I think you better hold on to him. Because come, the next 3, 4, maybe 5 years.
Definitely. he's like a younger, because Aaron Rodgers is still young too.
Mhm.
But to be able to carry it year after year after year,
Mm-hmm.
to mark your own legacy, to get rid of, would not get rid of, but to make a name for yourself.
Yeah, to make your own
And
name.
yeah,
Like when Joe Montana and then Steve Young replaced him and was able to step. There was some big shoes to step in.
remember he was
Right.
like, I finally got that monkey off my back.
Right.
So yeah, he definitely is a very talented, and one of the things I really like about him is how he can adjust.
Mm-hmm.
He makes that adjustment, which is one of the things I don't feel too confident about with my Joe. He still gets the job done though. Everybody has their own style.
Mm-hmm.
And this young man, he knows how, okay, I got some trouble coming my way.
Mm-hmm.
I like how he makes the adjustment to fit that. It works in their favor sometimes, but it's football. It's not scripted, so it doesn't always go in your favor, but I like his style. And yes, I think he has a long, pending no injuries,
Barring injuries, yeah.
he will have a wonderful career.
Yeah.
Outstanding Hall of Fame career. I see that
Yeah,
already.
I agree. I totally and absolutely agree with that. But this week, I don't see you guys beating Denver. How about that? We might want to try that again next year. Who you pick?
Denver. Denver has entirely too many weapons right now.
Yes, yeah.
And step away from Manning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, their running game is strong.
The receivers.
Right.
Come on, they got a lot going on.
Yeah, their defense has come. They had some losses. I mean, we benefited from some losses on their defense, but their defense is getting the job done. You know what I mean? They pressure the quarterback, and whomever pressure the quarterback moves on.
Yes, they do.
In the playoffs.
Yes, they do.
So
that's the key.
Yeah, getting that pressure on the quarterback. So anyway, looks like we're predicting come next week it'll be the Baltimore Ravens versus the Denver Broncos up in Denver, and we'll be going that way, and we really hope so. You agree?
Definitely. If you can recall 2 years ago,
Right.
this is the same scenario.
Right.
I don't remember who the first team was we played in,
Right.
in
Right.
the playoffs that,
Right.
that we beat.
And we
But then we went.
right. We went Oakland. Then
Then
we
we
went to
Denver.
Denver, and then we went to New
And
England.
then we went to New England.
Right,
So
right.
we're just going to reverse it this time. We'll
Right.
just beat New England first,
Right.
and then we'll beat Denver,
Right.
But same record, 10-6.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely.
And not the same team,
But this
but
defense,
that
though,
passion,
Yeah,
that passion, yeah. Because our defense is not the same people, the familiar names everybody knows, but we've got people. Like I said, I don't like to say replacements, but it's just that when
next man up. Next man
Ozzie
up,
is
get
good
the
with
job.
that.
Next
Ozzie
man
is
up,
good with
get the
that.
job
Except
done.
Ozzie, I don't, you be daydreaming or sleeping when it comes to that secondary or something, But other
But you
than
know what?
that,
Hold up. You know what? I'm actually Ozzie. The secondary. You think about it. Who's sitting there waiting to play? If the original guys that you picked are not getting or get hurt, there's not this fountain. You know what I mean? They can't call me and say, Paul, come on, let's play. There's not this pool that he can just go in and grab these players and they're supposed to play up to that level. So for
I'll
him
take
to
that.
grab the players that he has been able to acquire through trades, through picking up in free agents or whatever, they're getting the job done. Not necessarily best, and we are vulnerable, but those guys are playing hard. Also, too, they're playing hungry. That's what I like
Yes.
about them. They know if I can show and prove, I can keep a job, which means that they are playing. Nothing is guaranteed with them. So therefore, they're playing to eat every week, and it ain't nothing like a man who playing to eat.
That's right. Because we had Super Bowl winners. They had a ring,
Right.
but they had no job after that.
Get
So
comfortable.
yeah, it's definitely a difference now. It's a difference, not just the playoffs, but like you said, will I be here next year?
Right.
So yeah, there's a hunger and there's a thirst, and like you said, I didn't think that far. It's just I'm just like, why are we constantly having issues with this secondary?
Yeah, I mean, injuries happen, and they happen to all the teams in the league, all 32 teams, and so they're a part of the game, and this was just our year. But the fact that we are able to triumph in spite of those injuries, we're able to keep playing in spite of those injuries. I mean, we may get exposed today, But oh well. Even if we do it, it has been a great season. But I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you, it was almost like the Super Bowl last week.
Right. Yeah.
That's all I needed. That's all I needed was that.
We took out Pittsburgh.
We took that win from Pittsburgh, and that's all I really needed.
Right.
Because it's like my brother Conan says every day on the radio. He's like, "Who Pittsburgh playing this week?"
Nobody.
Exactly. We are. And like I said, the best thing about it is Joe did not go into the playoffs and lose his first game again.
Right.
This man has proven over.
You get me to the playoffs, I'm gonna get you a W.
And he's done it. So, not saying that we won't go any further, but I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
I'm satisfied with where we have gone for this season. Very proud of all of them.
Right.
All of them. Because like you said, with the injuries and everything that has gone on in this season, this is where we are.
Right.
This is where we are. We could have been home.
Yeah, exactly. We could have took the L Boogie last week. Y'all know how you could have took the L Boogie, but we did not.
We didn't. So there's that says something about this team. Says something about the coach, and not just the head coach, but all the coaches.
Sure.
Front office, everybody. It's I mean, it's just awesome how these people together.
Mm-hmm.
It's not one person outshining the other. Flacco gets, but that's with every team.
Sure.
So this is one of the things that upsets me when people talk about, well, Flacco did this and Flacco did that. Every quarterback wins and every quarterback loses.
That's right.
So it's a team effort. So if you can praise some other quarterback when he wins, or you can just say, oh, well, they did this. Why is it every time when we lose, Flacco gets all the blame?
Right.
But when we win, you still find reasons not to give him his credit.
That man is due.
But he's in the playoffs.
He's still playing.
He's still playing.
No doubt about it.
Still getting that cheddar.
That's right.
What your boy Manziel do? He ain't doing it right now.
That's right. He doing it home. He's doing it home. He's doing it somewhere. He's just not doing it on the football field.
Yeah. So as a whole, the Ravens, that team, that entity, that organization.
Right. And I tell you, we never do this on the show, but for once, I want to give a shout out to a guy who I grew up with. His name is Antonio Lashley. Tony Lashley. Anyway, Tony is the biggest, Patriots fan. And he ride and die with Tom Brady and the Pats. So, I'm giving you a shout out because guess what? We got to run up in y'all this week. So, I figure I shout you out first. Anyway, you can talk about it on Facebook. I know you're going to see it. But anyway, we're going to roll like that.
With no grease.
And no it hurt. But, that's how it goes. Anyway, guys, you have been watching Rant&Rave on icycolorlive.tv. We will be coming back with the AFC Championship edition next weekend, and we look forward to that. Anyway, you guys have a great week. Go Ravens.
Go Ravens.
Breaks through the line. Cuts to the left. He's going. I think he's going.